You can have a cushion this time.
I'm unmuted. Okay, go ahead. That's it. Turn the camera.
We are live on Facebook. And welcome to another Sunday evening live on the Always a Queen platform. I apologize for the late start that we are off to. We had some technical difficulties. You know how that goes. But I think we have managed to get that sorted out and we are here. So I crave your indulgence. Please forgive us for being a bit late out of the gate today. This is our very first live broadcast of the year. And so let me take a moment to say a very, very happy new year to all of the persons within the hearing of my voice right now. And I would just like to speak blessings and prosperity and success and health and love and light. With the Wellness Queens, and we are going to be bringing you a broadcast about plant power and the mind-body connection. And so I want to give my beautiful sister queens an opportunity to introduce themselves to you now. And we can start with Saran. Saran, would you like to greet the kings and the queens who are watching us?
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me, Queen.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to connect to my Facebook so that I can monitor the comments on my end as well.
Okay. We are our technology.
Yeah. Brian, we do look at what Detox.
Okay, we seem to have lost Saran there for a moment. Let's go ahead and give MJ an opportunity to greet all the kings and queens who are watching us, and we will keep going while Saran gets herself organized. Okay. All right, MJ, take it away.
Blessings, blessed night, blessed evening to everyone that's watching, that's listening, that's tuned into the vibrations. I didn't really want to go before Queen Saran. I wanted her to do her whole introduction. I wanted her to talk. I'm just really here just to sit and bask in this wellness and in this loveliness. You check, I'm not really here. I'm just a sideline person for tonight. But blessings to everyone. MJ the poet. I'm here just to basically give my thoughts and opinions, and also being a consumer, being a part, having the ability, the blessed opportunity to be a part of her last detox, very, very grateful for that experience. So I'm just here to add my 2 cents and to listen again and bask in this amazingness that's about to happen here. But blessings to everyone.
Wonderful.
And taking out the time. I can't wait. Yeah. So let's go. Saran, you ready? Testing, 1, 2.
All right. Okay. I think Saran is still trying to get herself organized. So let me go ahead and just jump right into it. And so I have entitled this afternoon's broadcast, Plant Power, the Mind-Body Connection. And the reason why it starts off as plant power is because that is Saran's forte. Saran is bringing the plant power to us here today. Okay. And so she's going to be talking about detoxing this afternoon. And I, of course, I'm going to be coming in with the mind portion of this afternoon's discussion, which is why we follow plant power with the mind-body connection. Of course, when we hear people talking about detoxing, immediately everyone starts thinking, okay, it must be that we're going to be fasting and we're not going to be eating certain foods and all of these things. And immediately we begin thinking detoxing the physical body. But as Saran is going to tell us in a moment, detoxing is not just physical. We are eliminating not just toxic food, but we are also eliminating toxic behaviors. We are eliminating toxic energies. We are eliminating toxic people. We are eliminating toxic habits. We are eliminating toxicity in general. And so we are here to promote holistic wellness today, not just what we eat, but all of the things that we are consuming. I like to tell my clients all the time that your diet is not just what you eat. Your diet is everything that you are consuming. It is whatever you are listening to. It is whatever you are reading. All of the things that you are feeding your mind, all of that is a part of your diet. And so we want to be clear that when we say we are detoxing for 2022, it's not just about the food, sis. It's about all the things that we need to free ourselves of and rid ourselves of so that we can be living our very best lives in this new year. All right. Do we have Saran with us yet? No. Do we? Saran? Are you with us as yet? Let's talk the mind-body connection. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to. Saran, are you with us?
I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. Again, go ahead and greet the people.
Okay, well, peace and blessings, everybody. You know, it's funny because it's back-to-back 2 Sundays in a row I've had to put up my dukes against technology. I've really been trying to balance it out. For some reason, I'm not seeing it on my page as coming up as live, but I'm trusting that I'm visible and everybody can hear me. So we'll just go with the flow. Hopefully that catches itself soon enough so that if there are any questions or comments on there, then I can handle it accordingly. Okay, well, Taraz, MJ, thank you so much again for having me. MJ has been a customer of mine for quite some time. And when I tell you that your customers make your work no longer seem as work, it's customers like MJ that do exactly that. I love what I do because I know I'm doing it for people like MJ. You know, and I'm very honored that they trust me. They trust my product.
I think we've lost you. We're not hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
hearing that.
I'm hearing. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. All right, well, I was just saying, you know, when you have a beautiful connection with your customers, your work no longer becomes work. It becomes something that you really enjoy because you're getting the feedback, you're getting the love, you're getting the support from the persons who you create the products for. So it makes it like a beautiful synchronicity between, you know, what you do and the people you do it for. And so where detox is concerned, I don't like to see that look on your face, Shelley. Am I being heard? Okay, so where detoxing is concerned, I'm very, very passionate about it because it's something that I find that I know is very necessary. And sometimes, you know, we will get caught up in the, oh, but I eat well, I'm vegan, and I exercise and I do things like that. Why do I need to detox? I think it would be remiss of all of us, even if we have a healthy diet and we're eating and doing the right things, to assume that we don't need to detox. We all do, including myself. We're all exposed to all the toxic fumes from the vehicles when we go to town. We're all exposed to the Wi-Fi that we're using now. The technology comes, it's very convenient, but it comes with a price. And so elements like that outside of yourself, we can't control. And for that reason, we all need to detox. Okay, so let me just give a little background on myself. Many, many moons ago, I was in law school, and that was actually the path that I was on at that time. However, two very crucial life-changing events happened in my life. And to make a long story short, I pivoted towards natural health, natural healing, herbalism, and nutrition. And so that has been my focus nonstop for the past 10, 11 years. And so I'm not new to it, but the fire is still ever blazing as if, you know, I was just turned on to it. Because as you go along, you learn more as a herbalist, you learn more as you interact and you work along with people on their journey. And so it's something that I know, you know, that moment when you feel like, I found the reason why I was here. I know for me, this is exactly that. And so I'm very, very honored to be the age that I am, because a lot of us actually go through our entire existence without actually identifying our divine purpose. And I think this is exactly why I'm here. And so I'm very, very honored to do detox challenges. I'm very happy to see the excitement behind it. Typically, once I put the promotion out on WhatsApp, within 2-3 days, I'm sold out. And that's because, you know, the people are excited about it. If they had done it before, they're bringing along a sister, a friend, a brother, a husband for the next challenge. And so the momentum keeps growing, the interest in the participants keep expanding every time. And so, you know, it fires me up even more so. And so as we begin 2022, I'm not big on the resolutions, but I do recognize that it's a time when people are very reflective. And because of that reflection, we are kind of motivated to make different shifts and make certain changes in the things that we do that sits uneasy within us. And so diet, of course, that's a big part of it. A lot of us look back on what we did over the Christmas holidays and we're cringing because we ate nearly all the pig in Antigua. And then for others, you know, we stopped ourselves with
Saran.
Huh?
And I can mash my cans, so Saran. Yes.
The hit dog will holler. But anyhow, you know, it is unfortunate and yet a beautiful thing that when we gather together, we celebrate with food. That's a way in which we socialize, especially over the Yuletide season. And for that reason, you know, we kind of throw caution to the wind over this period of time. And so when January comes in and you start to feel the impact of your actions in December, you not only are motivated to do something different because it's January, you're also motivated because you feel it in your body. You know when you feel out of balance. You know when you did something that, you have not gotten over it yet. And so for that reason, the detox this time around is going to be the largest that I've ever done. If I was doing the regular number, I would probably be sold out before even doing an ad. But this time around, I made it my business to expand my capacity as much as possible so that I can include other persons from the community who, for whatever reason, before, they called, sorry, it's sold out, and they couldn't get in. So this time around, I'm really making an effort to expand and reach deeper into the community so that we can all enjoy the wonderfulness that is detoxing. Okay? Any questions, Therese? I'll go over the structure of plant power. Well,
Yes, no questions at the moment. I do, however, want to take a moment to acknowledge those persons who are in the chat section. I do on the Always a Queen platform for followers who are watching there. And so I wanted to take a moment just to acknowledge the kings and the queens who are watching live on Facebook and who are ardent followers of the Always a Queen platform, and to just say thank you for being here this afternoon. I see we have Queen Saran. I see my hubby is on here. I see, and that's another Saran. This is Saran King. We have Saran Davis on the program today, and Saran King is listening on Facebook. And so I just want to welcome you. I see we have Queen Joanna on here. MJ, of course, is in the chat section too. All right, so I just wanted to take a moment to greet you all and to let you know that we are happy that you are here to take in what my sister Queen here has to share with you today regarding the way that plant power can change your life. Love to hear exactly what the structure of this detox program looks like. So could you tell us a little bit more about exactly how the detox program is structured? How does it work? I know that it runs for 14 days, but what exactly do these 14 days consist of? Okay, Saran, you're muted. Your microphone is muted. Okay.
Hi, my apologies. So I was saying that we often get confused between what a detox really is as opposed to what cleaning your colon is. There are a lot of times we think that once we're taking laxatives, once we're stuck on the toilet, once we have the runs, that we're doing a detox. But for me, detox is very different from that. It is a time where you allow your body, you position your body to be in its most optimal state to release toxins while at the same time nourishing your body with foods, juices, herbs that are going to be beneficial and assist you with the entire elimination process as well. So the plant power detox encompasses more than just your typical colon cleanse type formulas. In your box, you do get anti-inflammatory capsules. You get capsules for your liver and your kidney and your adrenals. You get formulas to assist with eliminating parasites out of the body. Of course, you get your colon cleanse, you get formulas for your skin and your hair. So it's a holistic approach towards the physical structure. And I say that it also includes like hormone balancing capsules and teas. You get your morning teas to energize you and boost you and give you that oomph to take on your day. It gives you your nighttime tea as well, something to lull you down and ease you into a beautiful night rest, because resting is also a very important part to healing the body or to rejuvenate or to release toxins. And so that's what you get in terms of the detox box. Now, outside of the detox box, we are again incorporating a holistic approach to detoxing. So it also includes movement, which would be, are you okay? Which would include our workout sessions at the stadium. We work out 3 times a week at the stadium. And on the weekend, we're hiking in the beautiful nature of Antigua on Saturday and Sunday. So that might sound a little bit intensive, but it is an opportunity for you to use your body and for also making it convenient. Most persons are not able to do everything, but, oh, I'm sorry. Who's it? Huh? No, so my apologies. So you get your movement assignments as well. And so you're expected to do your workout videos at home. You're expected to participate in the hiking, and you're also expected to engage in the aerobic classes that we have at the stadium. Okay. Outside of that, you also get coupons to participate in vendors, because we do have vendors in Antigua who offer plant-based food that are healthy. Y'all want me to pause? No? You sure? Yeah. So we offer coupons to participating vendors. It gives you an opportunity to patronize some of the restaurants here that offer healthy plant-based options. So you get those, so you save while you're on the program, if you have to go and buy your food as opposed to preparing it. You also get recipes, you get your meal plan. Now the meal plan is very flexible, because it's very easy for me to just tell you, okay, today you have to eat quinoa, blah, 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 blah. It's easy for me to structure it that way. But what I do know for a fact is that if you put people on a regimen that's rigid, once the 14 days are up, they kindly put your booklet under the pillow and that's it. They never stick with the regimen going forward. And so for me, the motivation is not just for you to change the way you eat for the 14 days. It also, the intention is for you to be very comfortable, very, very flexible while doing the regimen, so that you can continue after the challenge is over. Okay, and so there's a lot of flexibility. Of course, there are structures, there are things that we are not doing. And yes, it's a plant-based diet, but not everything that's plant-based is included. So we're not doing any sugar, we're not doing any wheat, we're not doing processed foods, we're not doing the packaged foods, we're not doing the deep fried foods. So all of that, we're kind of resting it, and we're sticking as close to nature as possible, as close to imagining you going outside and plucking it yourself. That's the bond that we want to create with the nature while on the regimen. And so it's structured that way. You get a lot of flexibility. I try not to push like the American version of plant-based eating. I know that we have lots of great food here that's seasonal. When it's seasonal, it's everywhere. You go down the road, you see mangoes everywhere. You go down the road, you see breadfruit everywhere. And so it's utilizing the things that we have access to, because it's price effective and it's also in your face as well. So you can think the idea is to get very creative with the way in which we prepare meals, not just looking at it as, okay, I have to eat quinoa, I have to eat amaranth or whatever. No, we have breadfruit down the road. So whether you're going to make a breadfruit scallop or you're going to make a breadfruit soup or whatever, the intention is to get creative with what we have at our convenience. And so that's how the meal plan is kind of structured. You can interchange based on what you have in your backyard. You can interchange based on what you can exchange or trade with a sister or a friend, anything that's seasonal. So that's the approach to the eating component of it. Outside of that, what's usually the factor that receives the most resistance in the entire challenge would be the emotional assignments. And this is where, Therese, you would have, I'll let you lament on it, but I just need to mention the importance of us focusing not just on the physical structure. If you're doing anything and you're not doing it from a holistic perspective, you're gonna have a shortcoming. You have to approach everything from a holistic. We're not just physical beings, we're emotional and we're spiritual as well. And so the entire regimen is structured in a way to tap into those parts of your body as well, your emotional body and your spiritual body. It supports your physical body. And often we kind of minimize the emotional part of it and we just say, I'm fine, I'm happy, and we go about living our lives in pretense. But the emotional assignments really bring your issues to the fore. It's not something that you have to share with the entire group, but it's certainly structured in a way to have you think about where you are emotionally for real. And sometimes it's journaling, sometimes you may get an assignment where you're given a task, you have to call somebody, or you have to do different things like that. And so it allows you to reflect on your life in a way that's very helpful. You're releasing toxins, yes, and you're also releasing that baggage, that weight, that heaviness that comes with being contrite and being angry and holding on to malice and all sorts of things from your childhood coming right up. So it's very helpful to be able to balance the two. And I'm telling you, when you adjust your diet and you're on the herbs that God made for us, while at the same time releasing that emotional tension, releasing the emotional baggage, the experience is just, it's like a blossoming flower. You really open up and you really feel yourself change. Okay, and so that's kind of like an overview of what the program is. Like I said, you will get of course, we start your day, and I should put this as a separate category. An important part of the regimen, if you ask me, is participating in the WhatsApp chats. We have a WhatsApp group, and I kid you not, every single session, the pictures that are posted in the WhatsApp group, inspirational. You get ideas as to what to prepare. You're in the house, you have plantain, you don't know what to do with it. And then a queen posts a plantain pie or, plantain salad or what have you. And so you get a lot of ideas. There's also that supportive network, knowing that as you struggle, because for some persons it is a struggle as you come off of sugar. So there is that part where, physically you may not be in the best state of mind all the time, but just to be able to be in a group where it's not just you going through, whatever side effect of coming off of caffeine, coming off of sugar, and that type of thing. So it's a real bonding experience. And so for that reason, even after the challenges are done, the groups still remain. A lot of times we still do hiking after the challenges are done. We still engage with each other. We exchange recipe ideas and things like that. And so it extends outside of it being just a challenge. into a community experience. And that's the beautiful, beautiful part of the entire thing. And for some reason, every time I do the challenges, the groups, the persons who are in the group are just so amazing. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch as we support each other, as we encourage each other, as we post our creativity, because I will tell anybody this, when it comes to food preparation, you can't beat a Black woman no day. And furthermore, I would go further to say, as a Caribbean woman, stand aside. That's all I'm saying. We can take a little and do a lot because we're so creative with what we do in the kitchen, especially utilizing things that we have access to. So anyhow, I don't want to go on too long, Therese. As you can tell, I get very excited over the entire program.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I want you to get excited. I want you to get excited. That's good. I can feel the passion coming out as you speak. And you said something very, very important at the start. You spoke about divine purpose. And whenever someone is in their purpose, when they are walking in their purpose and living a purpose-driven life, that's what happens. You start talking about what you love and you just like it. It's good. It's a good thing. All right. I see Saran King, that's the other Saran, saying that the reason why we are such good cooks is because we love to eat. Do you think that's true?
Oh, absolutely. We do love to cook, and not only do we love to cook, it's almost like
Oh no, she said we love to eat.
We structure our lives in a way that, like I said, with the gatherings, every time we gather as a group, even if you tell a few friends, let's go to the beach this weekend. The next question will be, what you bring in? What are you bringing? I'll bring the this, I'll bring the that.
Belly must
food. And so that's why I could do the detox and recommend really restricting what you eat and things like that. I've seen a lot of detoxes that are very beneficial that have you juice fasting or, doing different things where you eliminate food. But what I'm trying to do is to change lives, and you change lives by making it user-friendly. You make it easy for people to continue the regimen. After it's done, you will probably still hear my words in the back of your voice. No, Keisha, don't eat that. Or what have you. But what you will know is that you would have prepared something that you really love. If you're cooking for your family, your children, your husband, or whoever may tell you, why you don't do that thing again? And so it allows you to gradually create healthier foods for your family. So it's not just for a period of time, it's something that, it's a lifestyle change. And I just think if you tell people, you can prepare this, you can prepare that, it makes it a lot easier for them to stick with it after it's done. Yeah. And so, yes, you asked if we love to cook. We love to cook, we love to eat, we love to do that kind of thing. I would like to touch on like the differences. Like now we tend to look at detoxing as a new age thing and that type of thing. But the reality is, it is nothing new. Our foreparents knew that time to cleanse. And they also recognized and understood very well that we're not always just supposed to be feeding our bodies, just loading up our food. There is a time when, it's all about balance, feast and famine. There is a time when you have to back off and you have to allow your body to, balance itself out by reducing certain things. And so they used to do that. And Therese, I know you can attest to the fact that like colon cleanses and things like that, that is definitely nothing new. That's something that we were customarily doing back in the day. It was very, very, it's very easy to reflect on your days growing up. A long line in your grandmother's yard, you and your cousins, and at the front of the line, your grandmother had something in a spoon. She either had it in a spoon or in a cup, and everybody would, but you had to do these things because they recognized that, hey, we're eating certain things and we're not eliminating. And so, yes?
Let's pause for a cause and let's bring to light the fact that they shit our weed, then they clean her out. And then that we want to clean her out for, oh, just come drink the fruit juice.
That is true. That is true. I don't think it wasn't really communicated as to it was
scarred us, but we do remember it. Without a doubt, I remember my mom used to make bitters, like bitter bush, and we would get clean out every once a week or every other week. But they're not telling us that it's vital for you to cleanse. And that's a gear something. We just gotta put that out there. We gotta talk about that. We gotta pass that trauma. We gotta address
that generation thought that they were, the parents, and you just do what I say. So they really didn't transmit the information part of it. And so you just did it. And as you grow up, you say, well, okay, I'm not doing that anymore because you really didn't understand the benefit of it. But I am here to bring the news from the ancestors. So to incorporate their habits, the good ones, into what we do today. And another thing, we can all see what the typical Antiguan lunch looks like. If you go to a typical restaurant in town, you're going to get rice and peas, you're going to get potato salad, probably a piece of macaroni pie, and some barbecue chicken. That's like the typical plate construction, right? And so they used to do that. They probably didn't do as much of the macaroni pie, but they ate a lot of starches. But what they also did that we no longer do, they walked. They had a lot of physical labor to do in a day. So that was burnt off. But instead, we sit in our office, we drive to work, we sit in our ACs, on the computer, and we eat the same way. We want to embrace everything from the past except for the things that calls for us to be disciplined. And that's where we run ourselves in a problem. We can remember Granny used to walk for miles. She walked to town, she walked back home. They went to market. When they got home, they were tying cattle out in the yard. They were always moving. We don't do that anymore. In fact, when we go to a supermarket, our thing is, let me circle twice so that I can catch that spot right in front of the door. Because we don't even want to walk, 100 feet anymore. So our steps, our movement has completely just rolled all the way back up. But we comfort ourselves by saying, oh, but this is how my grandmother used to eat, and this is what we used to do, and that kind of thing. We have to be mindful. You can't just take what works for you and leave everything else. You have to recognize that your grandmother was living in a pristine environment. Have all the cars that we have right now fuming us. She didn't have the Wi-Fi that we love right now radiating us. She didn't have to contend with these things, but we do. And so we have to make an adjustment. We have to. And so food, if you ask me, it's an easy way that we can adjust and make ourselves a little healthier, because healthy food isn't bland food. Healthy food isn't boring food. We can, and I've seen it over and over. Every time we do the challenge as well, Therese, the culmination is that we host a potluck and we do a little prize giving ceremony and things like that. And so we award different things, but when we gather for food, right? And this is not coming from a plant-based person only, so I won't just give my opinion. But when I tell you that table is lined, right? And you're going from you're like this, going from thing to thing. What is this? What? Everything tastes so good when we put our essence in it, because that's just really who we are. There's nothing bland about us. We don't do anything bland. We don't dress bland. We don't talk bland. Our dialect isn't bland. There's nothing bland about us. And so it shows in the food. But we have to break away from the mentality that, okay, you're just going to scald them vegetables. You're just gonna water and a little bit of salt. Once you take away that and you start seasoning your food, seasoning your vegetables, treating everything like you treat your meats, man, you don't miss nothing in meat. You don't miss it, and you really, really enjoy the food. And so I don't want to go on too much because MJ, you know that I will. So I'll just allow for you guys to contribute.
I wanted to come in here.
Anyway,
If Therese doesn't mind, I want to come in here and I want
go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I want all of us to collectively address an important thing that Saran mentioned. Back in the day, our grandparents, our forefathers were able to eat that so much starch because they were actually working, they were putting out that starch. Remember, the one thing me learned with changing my diet was that starch, that's sitting in your stomach. Starch, if you're not moving to push it out, it just sit on in your belly. And then as Black women, we wonder why we have this stomach. That's very important. But we have to take a time out to look at the way we are with finances as Black people really does affect how we eat and what we eat. A lot of times I hear eating healthy is expensive, and it kind of is. It kind of is. But sometimes I realize that we don't pay attention, as she says, to seasonal vegetables and so forth. We pay attention to the hot things that are happening. We want the quick and the fast way. Instead of taking your time and going to the market, or walk to the market, look for your vegetables, and then take your time and look on your vegetables and buy the best and get it cheaper. We don't really want to do that. But I do realize that how we eat as Black people is because sometimes we don't have the funds for this. We're working late in a job where we're not really moving up and down the place to make ends meet so that we can just basically eat to survive to the next day. So a lot of us listening to this, watching this may say, oh, well, I had the money for eat vegan. I had the money for eat healthy because certain things here are expensive. But you can find different ways. You can barter. You can find different ways, because I remember when I first changed my diet, me not really work no way. And what I focused on was going to the market, buying spinach, getting broccoli, see if I can get broccoli cheap, but get most of my greens at the market, and then get my potato for my starch, get my sweet potato for my starch at the market. And I cut down how much I was eating, but I tried my best to stay within my budget. And I still was able to work wonders, because as Black people, as Black women, as Black men as well, we can take nothing and make it into something, so much more. So we need to pull ourselves out of, oh, we need to have money to eat healthy. Because yes, sometimes I know you can't afford it. Sometimes you can't even say, you know what, I'm gonna buy the box of macaroni because the box of macaroni cheaper. I don't really have the money for the quinoa. I get it, I hear you. But we have to really change our way of how we do things, even go back to the backyard gardening if we have to. Feed ourselves, provide for ourselves so that we know for surety, we know where it's coming from. That's the most important thing. Because even if you're still a meat eater, you can still eat your chicken and hire like a coop in the back. At least you know where chicken will come from. You know what you're putting into it. It's simple things like that. So if you're listening to this again, you don't have to have a lot of money in the bank to eat healthy. And I know that's a big problem for us as Black people. We're forced to.
Let me interject here, MJ. I think often we idealize eating healthy. I think that's the problem a lot of too. We think, okay, well, I'm gonna do my quinoa and I have to have this, I have to have my sprouts, we idealize it. When in actuality, if you just looked at food as different, you'd be amazed what you change in your mind. I'll give you an example, right? Golden apples are in season now, right? And so the other day I went down the road. How much is a bun and cheese or bread and cheese now? $9.
$9.
$7. Okay, so you have an option. You can eat bread, butter, and cheese. And I'm being very basic, the bare minimum in terms of spending power, right? You can have that, or you could go a little further down the road and you can get a bag of golden apples. I got probably about 10 golden apples for $5 the other day. And you cannot tell me that you get a bottle of water, you get a bottle of water with your bread and cheese, and you can't tell me you cannot get full or feel satisfied eating the golden apple. You would have saved $2 or $3, what have you, but the price point is about the same. When we start thinking of the ultra healthy, that's when we run ourselves in problem, because we think, okay, how much for this pack of quinoa, how much for this amaranth, and then that's when we start running ourselves in problem. When we go and we want the burgers from in the supermarket frozen section, when they hit you with the $30 to $40 in your waist for 4 burgers, it hits hard, and I understand that. But that doesn't have to be our approach. We can definitely do things a little different. Instead of doing, let's say, the burger from the supermarket. Okay, you have eggplants home, you slice it, you season it overnight, like if you're pretending it's your hamburger patty or whatever, and you do that. You do that, and you slice it really thinly, you put it on a grill or whatever you have in your house, and you prepare that. You put it in your bread, and you replicate the idea that you have in your head, or the desire that you have for very little. But once you start thinking, and when you go on YouTube as well, you know, they talk about, oh, your agave and your stevia. And once you start, and notice good, everything that I called that works out to be expensive, where does it come from? It doesn't come from here, nor does it come from Dominica, Barbuda, it doesn't come from around here. So the expensive stuff come into play when you're importing from the US or beyond. Mm-hmm. That's where we start to get pricey. But if you tell yourself, okay, you're eating local only, I guarantee you, you will be full every day and you will spend a fraction of the cost. You can take, I see them having the callaloo or standing spinach diced up now in the supermarket. So convenience again, it's already diced up for you. It's $5 a bag. You can go home, dice up some okras, you see okra on the street for whatever price now as well, tomatoes and things like that. Use what you see at the side of the road. It's always going to be better for you in terms of the quality, the freshness, and the affordability. So once you start thinking differently, as opposed to supermarkets in the you know, the shelves that are not really the fresh food aisles, then you'll recognize that, you know, it really isn't that expensive. If you're cooking just for you, a pack of lentils can last you a while. You do your little, you season it up, you add your onions, your celery, your this and that, and you make your own patties. You put it in your freezer, and whenever you're in the mood for a burger, you go buy a pack of bread, you slice it, you toast it, and you add your little stuff to it, you know, and it works out to be very comparable to if you're eating regular meats or that kind of thing. And in fact, it can be a lot cheaper, I guarantee you, but it's the mindset that we need to change. You don't have to go and buy the coconut milk in the supermarket for $30. If you have a blender, that's really all you need. How much is a coconut? You have water at home, you make your own coconut milk. You understand? You make it as thick and as creamy as you want, and there's no extra additives. There's no, all the stuff that you don't know what it is. You know what I mean? But again, I'll tell anybody, the closer home you keep your ingredients, it'll be cheaper, and it will be more nutrient dense. So that's my tip on that where costing is concerned. But anyhow, queens and kings who are watching on the live, I do have persons in the house. I know you would have noticed, I'm looking this way and looking that way. I do have 2 persons who would have participated in the challenge before here. Patsy, are you good to come? They're pointing at each other. So I would like to get
just before. Now, just before we hear the testimonials, I just wanted to jump in very, very quickly and share a few comments from the comment section, because I need you to know that the comment section is on fire over here on Facebook. Yes, yes, I know you can't see it, but I am letting you know. So I want to read just a few comments for you. Saran says, I don't think our grandparents really understood why they did the cleanse, but they knew that it was something good to do. And she also goes on to say that she thinks that eating healthy is actually cheaper. She says fast food is very expensive. And I actually agree. I actually agree with that. Jamina, hi Queen Jamina, thank you for joining. Jamina says there is also a need for education to inform persons about balancing nutrition and spending habits. And I think this is the point that MG was making earlier. I see the other Saran, our Saran, it says we have to eat to live rather than live to eat. And I agree with that. Saran King says that soursop and breadfruit are in abundance now. I see Joanna is saying, don't forget the pizza. And she
well, I know which John that is.
Lover, and so I can totally identify with Joanna there. Saran says green soursop makes a nice vegan fillet fish, and mushrooms make a nice vegan burger.
Yes, it does. Oh. Yes, it does. And when I tell you, right, it not only tastes like that, it looks like that. I remember when that King Kashif from, what's the name?
Lion Pavilion.
When I saw it on Bram first, I was like, wait, hold on. First thing I said, wait, Rastaman eating fish now, because it looked so much like the fish. And then when you went there, I was like, for real? This is what we're doing? And then added to that, I also saw non-vegans lining up in front of me. I said, hello, excuse me. But that's just a testimony of it being really, really good. There was something that was mentioned about our grandparents. When you stay connected to nature, let me just throw this out there, it might sound a little eerie to some, but the closer connected we stay to nature, our innate guidance kicks in. And so maybe they didn't know that, okay, this is gonna stimulate your liver. They may not have understand the chemistry or the physical background to it in the body, but they were so close to nature that they would know instinctively by going around what herbs you can eat. We don't know none of that now because we've drifted so very far away. We don't know what herbs to avoid. We don't know what we can use. We don't know what will itch, what will sting. We don't know any of that because we've drifted so far away. So even though the information may not have been conveyed to us in a way that allows us to document it, they definitely were just in tune with nature in a way that allowed them to know, hey, weekend time, this is a must. You know, without a doctor, without anybody telling them that they had to. And so I just invite us to, drift. A lot of times people ask me, what's my takeaway? My takeaway is always as my, the second line of all of my business, returning back to the roots, because that's essentially all it is. The closer we get back to nature, we are going to be amazed as to how our body responds, how we feel, just energetically and all of that good stuff. We're natural beings. We're natural beings. And once we go back in that direction, we're going to feel the benefits for sure, for sure. So I can see you guys now. After probably over an hour of the conversation. And
yeah, what I to hear the testimonials of persons who have actually been a part of this detox, because I know it's not the first time that you have done it, and to hear their experiences and how this was transformative for them.
yes. Okay, so I'll do an introduction. So tonight I have two persons, and I think I brought them on board because their stories are a little different. The first person, I'm starting with you, Keisha. She did the detox that I held in July. And it's just, again, testimony of once you stick with it. A lot of times we are motivated for a short span of time. I'm going to kick it, I'm going to do this. But consistency is definitely the key. And Keisha has been rocking with me, rocking with the detox since July. And since that time, I'm just going to put it there. Now, let me just say before I say it, I don't offer the detox as a weight loss thing, okay? I don't. People say, oh, you sell something for weight loss, and that just like, ooh, I don't want to be known as that girl. Because again, if you're not addressing everything from a holistic angle, the weight loss industry to me is just so crooked. And so I just want to say, Keisha has been rocking with me, rocking with the detox since that time. Now, I can guide, but the onus at the end of the day is on every individual person who participates. She has lost. Let me just boss off, and today she come in looking sleek as ever. She has lost over 40 pounds since beginning on the regimen. She has stuck with it, people. Her entire family, for that extent, for that matter, they still get up in the morning and they walk as if, we're still doing the regimen. They still do the hiking. And so I'm just going to invite Keisha and allow her to do her, explain her experience on the entire regimen. So there she is.
Good night, everyone.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi, how are you?
We're good, and we're excited for you. Let's hear how this has changed your life.
Well, basically, as Saran said, it was July 1, 2020, and at that time I was really in a stuck place, I knew within myself that I needed a change, and Saran saw me out at an event, and she was like, you know what, Keisha, we're having this detox, just come. And one of the, it has been so significant for me and my family. It has literally changed my life. My whole life has been transformed as a result of doing these detoxes with Saran. And, it's really significant and important to me because now I'm equipped with so much information and so much knowledge. And as she was saying earlier, it's all about your mindset, and for almost every detox, I wasn't really prepared. In some instances, I was kind of more prepared than others, but I wasn't really prepared. And once I actually got started, I was like, okay, this is not so bad at all. Like, it's not bad at all. And for me, I have never actually followed the exact regimen, like, you know, the meal plan when she has, okay, on Monday you eat this, but I've stuck within the guidelines. So as MJ even mentioned earlier, you know, sometimes it's not everybody, it's not all the time I'm in financial position. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of people sometimes do things and say, okay, it's not about the money. But with Saran, I can tell you for a fact it's not about the money, because every detox I've done, Saran has blessed me to do the detox. I haven't paid Saran to do the detox. She blessed me and my family to do it, right? And so I have not actually followed the exact regimen, but I use the things that are available to me. If it's the okras that I see on the side of the road, if it's the bananas, if it's the mangoes, and I just use what I have available and I make it work for me, and it works. And it's really not that hard at all. And so since we've been doing that, as I tell you, it has transformed the life of me and my children. So we still practice a lot of the things that we have to do in the detox. Like we get up every day and we drink our lemon water. We definitely go walking. We have actually formed a hiking group. So like a few of the persons who've done the detox, we come together and we have a little group and we go hiking every weekend. But my family, we recently moved, so our little daily walking routine got a little messed up, but I'm not even worried about that because I know that we're gonna just get back on that easy. So to me, the detox is an excellent, excellent, excellent way to start that transformation in your life, because it puts you in a state where now, you know, you're cleansing your body, you're cleansing your mind, you're dealing with your emotional issues. And it really, when you do it from that holistic perspective, your whole life really changes. If you actually make it a part of your lifestyle, you're going to notice that your whole life begins to change for the better. Issues that maybe you may have had with some of your family members, you realize now that you are dealing with things in a different manner. You realize that you're more mature. You realize that you're not angry and bitter. You're not holding on to certain, I mean, that's my experience. I've had certain issues with certain family members, and I just get so off sometimes dealing with them. I know I'm not even bothered. And they still sometimes come around and try the little things, but I recognize now where they're coming from, and it's not a burden on me anymore, you know? So I feel so good because, you know, my son, sometimes he is a part of the detox too. So Saran gives him his little package, you know, my daughter is saying, Mommy, this time, I think I want to do the detox this time, you know, but I just feel really blessed to have been exposed to Saran. I mean, she saw what she saw that day. When she saw me at that event, it was at Veganize, you know, when she saw me at that event, she said, Keisha, I see something that I was like, man, no wonder what she see. You know, but I feel so grateful right now because for the Christmas, I love a lot of sweets. And even if you fall a little off track, that voice keep on coming in my head. It's just there. It's a part of me now. So even if I fall down, I know not to judge myself. And that's another great thing I love about the detox, because Saran is somebody that is totally non-judgmental. And even within the detox, she will say, listen, if you mess up, just forgive yourself and move on. And that environment of non-judgment, that environment of flexibility makes it so much easier for you to adapt the changes that you need to make it really work for you. And so for me, the 14 days is important because when you're on that 14 days, it regulates your body so much. Like, I really enjoy, I mean, I hope kind of.
No, please do.
Okay, like for me, my bowels, like my bowel action and so, you know,
Yes,
it's just so free and nice, you know, and I that's another, because you feel so light. Your body just feels so good, and you know, every day it's like clockwork. It's like clockwork, you know. And that's one of the best things about the detox to me. But I find that when the detox is done, if you're not consistent with drinking your water, right, is not going to be the same. So you have to really make the effort after the detox to continue drinking your water. Definitely drink your lemon water every day, and just apply the things that you've learned. And I know there are a lot of other persons who have done it multiple times, who do implement a lot of the things. No, it's just a part of our lives.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me personally, I am not going to stop. I am never going to stop. I'm going to always continue because I've seen the benefits, not just physical. I mean, I feel really good that I've lost some weight. I'm fitting in some clothes that were just sitting down there for so long now. You know, and I feel it makes you feel good. And I really feel great to be active, because with everything that's happening, even if you might get a little sick, if you don't get sick for no long time, maybe a couple of days, and then you're up strong as ever. And I know it's because of how I'm eating. I know it's because of I'm keeping myself active. Sometimes when your mind becomes free, you will be so amazed of how your body just responds in a positive way to that as well. So all of these are benefits that me and my family have experienced being on this 14-day detox challenge with this beautiful, intelligent, naturalist Dr. Queen Saran. And I just feel so filled with gratitude to have been exposed to you, to your knowledge, to be a part of this. And I would encourage everybody. But the main thing I think is not just for the 14 days, apply it to your life after. Yeah. And you cannot lose. You cannot lose. You will only gain. You know, it will only be beneficial for you and for those around you. So that's my testimonial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I am most fascinated. Well, obviously, I'm a psychologist. So, you know, the part of this that most fascinates me is the fact that she keeps emphasizing how it has not just transformed her physically, but mentally she's not the same person. She's not even interested in family drama anymore. People come around trying to create drama and she's just like, what? I love that. I love to see that. I love the fact that this detox is not just a food detox, and that is fantastic. I'm sold. I am absolutely sold. And I hope that everybody who is listening is sold as well.
Yeah, and so I just want to add, a part of the detox as well, we kind of set our intentions for the day. At least that's what I do without telling them that's what I do. So you usually get like a song of the day. I'm so close. You get song of the day, you get something to think about as you go about your day, and you get your assignments as well in the morning early. So it kind of sets the way you think, and especially when you see that you're in a group with, let's say, 55 persons. So you're cognizant of the fact that it's not just you, and this is the mission for today. You know what I mean? And so it kind of sets you up for living a particular way today, enjoying a particular thing. And for that reason, you kind of get a little bit more peaceful, a little bit calmer, which is important as well, because like I said, detoxing, as much as we try to glorify it, it's not always easy. It's not always beautiful for everybody. Our bodies, when we're beating the demon, especially of sugar and caffeine, I'm telling you, you can really encounter moments where you're really facing. I know telling me that it's weird calling me benevolent, because that's essentially what it is, and that's why I'm very lenient in my approach. I mean, at the end of the day, if you slip up, it's done, we move on. And so I understand why as well. And that will be another conversation that we have in terms of how foods are actually packaged, why certain ingredients are combined. And once you have that information, you recognize that we're truly addicted. If you break down the chemistry behind refined white sugar, you realize that it's literally the way in which it functions in the body mimics cocaine. So it's not, because it's food, we call it food, we tend not to think of ourselves as addicted, but essentially that's what we are. And so for that reason, you have to approach people as if they have an addiction. And so you forgive, you let go, you forgive yourself, because a lot of times too, when we, especially some persons are so rigid in their approach where they want everything to be perfect. And so if they slip up, it's like, oh, they're ready to beat themselves up over it. And so for me, it's like, no, let's roll with the punches. That's one donut, that's one cupcake, or that's one meal that you made a mistake on. So we move on and we just look towards the future, because at the end of the day, we can't change the past. And so once you approach it that way, it makes it, everybody kind of know that the work is ahead and not what's behind you. All right, so I'm gonna move into the other testimonial. Well, I'm not gonna say much for her because hers is just amazing. I don't know if she'll share. I don't know what she's willing to share, but I'm just gonna open the floor. And again, I just wanna go back and say that when you're surrounded with beings of light, which I've been blessed to be for the majority of this entire experience, it makes what you do so enjoyable. So I'm gonna open up the forum to, so her name is Patsy. And she is somebody that I met, well, we used to vend at the market together. So I knew her for a while before doing the detox. I think Janosha, who's the person who teaches our aerobic classes, she said, my mother-in-law wants to do it. And for some reason, it didn't work out the very first time, but then she jumped on board in January of 2020. And let me tell you, right? 2021. And I'm just gonna let her do her spiel on it, because when I tell you divine purpose, and it's like, I'm here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I feel so much love from the people that I create products for. And so I'm gonna invite her and just have her give her little testimonial. I hope she doesn't make me cry today, because she has a tendency of doing that. So welcome to the stage, Patsy. Let me shift the light for you. Go ahead. You can sit right
there. Good evening.
Hello,
okay, so
Patsy.
like Saran, good evening. Like Saran said, my name is Patsy. And I'll start by saying that Saran is a godsend. She's a godsend in my life, in my family life, and I'm so honored to be in Saran's circle. So like she said, I studied the detox because of my daughter-in-law, Janosha. I was like, detox, I detox all the time, I cleanse all the time. But like Saran said, it's not just drinking something and going to the bathroom and getting stuff out, but it's internal. It's internal. It's mind. It's a holistic change. And I must say that these detox have changed my life. I was having problems with my hands. I'm a teacher and writing and I do the computer. So I got what they call carpal tunnel syndrome. And I would wake up with excruciating pains in the evening. My husband would rub, but rubbing won't work. So I went to the doctor and she said that I'm gonna have to have an operation. I was like, oh my God, I don't want my hand to get caught. I don't want to have an operation. So then again, Jonah, she said, Ma, I think you should try the detox. I was like, you think that's gonna work? I said, okay, I'll try it. And I'll tell you, it changed my life. Prior to having carpal tunnel syndrome, I had clots, like blood clots in my lungs. Yeah. And sorry. But I can attest today and sit here and say that I no longer have clots in my lungs. I no longer suffer with tunnel carpal syndrome. Like the doctor said, I'll have operation. I had no operation. I just changed the way I eat. And I'll say, we are what we eat. We are what we eat.
Ashe. Ashe.
I never was, thank you. I never was a meat eater, but I eat fish day in, day out. And they would call me fish. At work, they call me fish because that's my food. Fish, 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 fish for breakfast, fish for lunch. Everything comprises of fish because we have a fish shop and that's what I eat, fish all the time. But even all the fish, with all the cup, everything in there, it is still not good. So I eliminated every meat, every flesh, no eggs, no dairy, nothing from January 17th, 2021 up to today. I don't miss meat because when I think of the pain that woke me up at night, pain, my hands would just go numb, tingling pains in my finger, and then like, ooh, and the pain that came with it. Or I would have to have a ball. My principal gave me a ball where I would have to pump because I can't breathe properly. I could sit here today and say, thank you, Saran Davis. The detox work, but you have to put in the work. You have to mind what you eat. You have to watch what you eat. And I can breathe better now. I don't need a ball to pump. I don't have any pains in my hands where I can't write or my arm aches. Everything just magically went away because I changed my mindset that I need to do this and that, but change my mindset, eat properly. No eggs, no milk, no meat in terms of fish. I feel amazing. I feel blessed. I feel rejuvenated. And the detox work. So if you're out there and you're watching and your doctor say that you need those pills, you don't need those pills. I watched my mom prior to her passing just about 2 years ago. Every day she popped more than 10 of these capsules in her mouth. Yet she tests the pressure and the pressure is still high. So why are we taking all these pressure pills or pills for diabetes or all of these things? Just change the way you eat. We are what we eat. And what you put into your body, the results you will get. You put meat, you will get sick. You get toxins, you get all these things into your system. Change how you eat. Come on board, join Saran's Detox. It doesn't have to be Saran's Detox. Just find some, because it's not like I'm selling Saran's product. Just change your mindset. Change the way you eat. And you will not have to have certain surgeries or certain, whether it is fibroids or whatever it is. Once you change the way you eat, you will heal yourself inside and out. So I just want to say again, thank you, Saran. I am so happy. I am so, filled with, joy. My husband is happier. My sons are happier. Thank you, Jonosha. Thank you, everyone. We are what we eat. Stay blessed. Thank you.
I have to join MJ with Ashe again for that.
Hey. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, so you get what I mean when I say, oh man, it makes it easy. It makes it easy to do what you do. And this was just last minute calls. Can you come give it? But the line I mean, I had options. I could have really reached out to a lot of others who would have willingly come and given their feedback and their, their insight on how they were able to change, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I do want to add that, yes, my recommendation is plant-based. However, do I think we're all supposed to be plant-based or will ever be? No, I don't. But the reality is we can all do better by making better choices. And it just so happens that the more chemicals you mindfully remove from your diet, you're going to shift over towards a plant-based lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's just the result of what it is. And so slow steps you eliminate as you go along, and the body knows what it needs to do. It's us who tend to get in our own way by sticking with our habits, sticking by certain routines and things like that. But once we allow ourselves to free up, put your body in a state of do what you need to do, find the balance that you need to, and you incorporate the different parts of it, the emotional part of it, where you learn to let things go and things like that. The result will be what it is. So I just want to add that. Perez,
Yeah, but I want to hear MJ's. I want to hear MJ's testimonial. I want to hear.
Oh yes, I do too.
Yes, I'm waiting for that.
Okay, so hi, good night, blessings to all you beautiful people. I've known of Saran's Detox because, of course, as she said, I am a proud supporter and a user and believer of her products. Yeah, I love her products. I love her products for the yoni, taking care of the yoni. So I've been with Saran, buying stuff from her for a minute. I've known about the detox, but I never stepped into it. I already made changes in my life where it comes about how I look at food. However, I've never done a full plant-based meal for 2 weeks, for 14 days. I've never done that. So I said, I want to step into this. I think I can do it. I think I can try it. I'm a meat eater. I love meat, as I say, for the Christmas. I swim with it, turn into a little piggy and fly away. I'm sorry. I love me some pork, okay? Especially when it comes to Christmas time. But what I realized before the detox and through therapy is you are what you eat. I look at food very differently. The thing that's a blessing and a curse for us as Black people is that we eat to literally survive. We're feeding our bodies just to make it through the next day. We're not feeding our souls, we're not feeding our hearts. So I took the opportunity to step and do this and see how better, I guess, I can cleanse the body and I can eat and enjoy food. I know for a fact starch puts weight on my stomach, and because of what I was doing over on Green Island, I put down like pounds around the waist, check. So I wanted to cut out starch and just clean the body, cleanse the body. I do look at detoxing as not as a way to lose weight. It's not torture. It is not a punishment. Detoxing is resetting your body, letting your body know, hey, you do this for quite a while, because at the end of the day, I do love meat, but I look at food as a way to empower my body, make sure I feel good. So with that being said, I joined the journey this time and I've enjoyed it. The 2 weeks was amazing. Of course, the movement was amazing because y'all know I'd be hiking. So the movement was amazing. But let me tell you, that aerobics class kicked my ass, okay? I was sweating in places I didn't know I could sweat, but I felt good. I felt good to move. Moving is not just a thing where you exercise and tone the body. Moving grounds you. When you move, you change your vibrations. When you swift your body, you're chanting, You're moving to a frequency. You're giving out, you're showing out gratitude. You're showing the universe and thanking the universe for what you are and what you have. I love to move. I believe in movement, you know? And the funny thing is that when I had on the weight, I was always a person, me walk everywhere me need for gonna. Me not sit down and wait for nobody, no. You will see me on the road and walk a foot it where me need for go. And I still had on the weight, but I'm not scared of movement. I was just not paying attention what I was putting into my body. So I'm very mindful of that now. What the detox taught me, and I bless Saran for, is that veganism is not just about food, not what you're selecting, it's how you're selecting what you eat. Why are you selecting this to eat? What are you going to get from this right now that you need? Do you need energy in the morning to make it through the day? Are you sitting down at the office so you need something low carb? When you pay attention to what you are eating, you also season your food and cook your food with love. That's the most important thing. You know why I know it's the most important thing? Because when Saran makes her yoni products, and she's putting the ingredients on the side, she put in the bush, she put in the ad, and you know what she put in? And love. Because if she wasn't making it with love and purpose, it wouldn't heal none of we. So when you cook your food, you have to remember, I am doing this to edify my body. I'm doing this to feed my body. I'm not just trying to survive for the next day. What nutrients am I going to get from this? Does this taste good? Does this move my soul? Does it make me happy? That's what we need to pay attention to. But we're all so much in survival mode that we just eat to get through the next day. And that's not what we should be doing. You understand? As Keisha mentioned, down to the fact, you know what I loved about this detox? We were able to stand up and talk about shit like grown people. Oh, that felt so good. Because for some reason, we don't talk about the way we shit. Like, you would talk to queens and hear them and tell you that them the shit every day. I'm like, sis, what? That shit once a week. I'm like, huh? No, joke your Mac. Joke your Mac. No. No. Look at your body as your temple, as your sacred space, as a machine. You take that car that you are driving up and down Antigua Street to a mechanic once a month or every 2 months or something. Why aren't you looking at your body in that shape, in that manner? You take it, you put it up, you clean out the aisle, you change your filter, you do what you have to do that to your body as well. So you put it into this machine. Every day, you're supposed to put them out. And if you not put them out, where you go? That means you full of shit because it's backed up in your body. That's not good. You understand? We're literally walking around with a bunch of shit in us, not realizing when you eat, you're supposed to be cleaning it out. And it's very important to our diet. It's not just about, oh, I'm eating and I'm eating well. Sis, your shit. And if you're not, I need to look about that. See, and I love the fact that I was able to stand up with grown people up at the stadium and have this genuine conversation, because having a conversation with Saran also reminded me and made me realize that I have a trauma with shitting. As a young girl, and that's the thing, that's why so much of us are scared. Because growing up, I used to be handbound all the time, but I never told anybody. So, yo, I'm talking real, I'm talking raw. Please do not judge me. Understand this is my opinion. If you understand where I'm coming from, you can put some fire emojis in the chat, in the live. Serious. I had a hard time shitting as a child, and I didn't tell my mother. But I was eating a bunch of stuff, and she's just on survival mode, making sure that food is on the table, not paying attention to nutrients. So I'm not eating what I need to eat. I'm not drinking a lot of water. So when I go to the bathroom, it was difficult, and there was blood sometimes. So I've now attached that trauma with going to the bathroom, that there was one point in my life, I wasn't shitting every day. I wasn't going every day, and I was backed up. I was backed up with all these toxins. I was backed up with trauma as well, not realizing. But I had an open conversation with a beautiful queen, and she looked at me and she said, MJ, nah, shit every day. No man, a joke, you're mad. And she said to me, try lemon water, warm water early every morning before you eat anything. And you're supposed to be going regularly. Even when you don't think you want to shit, just sit on the toilet. You put it in. It's supposed to be out. That is very vital. You understand? So to be able to, that was my most memorable part of this detox, having open conversations. And we need to have this open conversation because what our body is meant to do. This is what our bodies are meant to do. We eat, so we push it out. Veganism teaches you to be mindful. Be mindful, be creative with what we're eating, how we're eating. I am a meat eater. I still eat my meat, but I understand I need to detox. I understand to reset my body and refresh my body. My body is a machine, and I love this body. He's done some things and then some. This body slept on. This body slept on Green Island for a couple of days. This body had 2 babies. This body was pushing 250 and come down to all the way 170. Listen, I love this body. So I have to be mindful of what I put into it so I can continue to give. I have a lot to give, and I can see my children, I can see my grandchildren, and see the next generation that I'm about to create. So we have to be mindful as Black people, what we are eating, how we are eating, how we are shitting, what type of teas we are drinking, what herbs we're putting into our body. We need a reset ever so often, and this detox allows you to do that. You're not walking on this journey by yourself. Saran, now force if you properly. Either you go do okay, don't spend your money, don't give your money. So either you go do them or you're not going to do it. But eating plant-based is up to you to make a consensus within your mind and make a decision for yourself, for your body, your mind, and your soul. You have to go to the aerobics class, look at it as a way of moving your body, hiking. Antigua pretty now. I don't know if I just stay up to be hiking pictures, right? But Antigua pretty bad. Therese may come this, sorry, may come. Now try to take up the whole thing. But I need to let y'all know Antigua, oh my God, pretty bad. So y'all get up, rise early and go hiking, see what the world has to offer. And last but not least, do not skimp on that emotional exercising and detoxing. Because just as how we back up shit in our body, we back up trauma in our body. We store trauma in places in our womb, sometimes in our wombs, in our heart space, in our lungs. This is what creates fibroids sometimes. This is what creates cysts sometimes. We just back up the whole emotional trauma, thinking that it's going to just go away and we're going to lose weight or get better mentally. No, you have to write, you have to journal, you have to let go, you have to forgive. You're not healing that emotional baggage and emotional weight for them. You're healing it for you. Because it gets stuck. When you deal with the man, remember when you deal with the man and you keep up that trauma and you're trying to figure out why you can't have children with this man, because you have emotional trauma with this person. You need to let them go. You need to detox them out of your life. It's simple, queens and kings. Of our bodies. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to love upon ourselves and take care of our minds. Next generation depends on next generation. Be mindful of what you're putting in our bodies, because if we don't know where our food is coming from, they can control our way and do anything with our way. I start to kill our way as Black people. I tell people so straight, and some people get upset when I say that, but it starts killing us as Black people. And I can say that straight up with you, straight up to you. I was eating starch like nobody business. It didn't feel right. It stopped me processing my thoughts and processing my emotions in a good way. I cut that starch out of my body, that processed starch. I was able to love on myself and see myself for what I am and who I am. Because I'm feeding my body better. But we have to take care of ourselves for ourselves. Saran provides you with a detox, with step by step, with everything you need. She's giving you the package. All you have to do is just come, prepare your body, your mind, and your soul and get with it and change your body, change the way you eat. And again, when the detox is done, you can go back to eating your meat, but no, there is another way. That's all she's saying, kings and queens. There is another way. Thank you, Saran. I love and appreciate you. As I said, I've been doing this with Saran, promoting her and everything. And then to find out when my father passed last year that actually a family. I was like, hey, divine order, everything in divine order, everything in divine order. She's an amazing queen. She believes in the wellness of the Black woman. She believes in the wellness of us as Black people. Gratitude, so much gratitude.
Oh, gratitude, ashe, ashe, ashe. You know, Therese, you understand, right? It makes it easy.
I get it. I get it.
It's easy. It's something that I don't take for granted because I didn't pay anybody to come and give testimonials tonight. You know, I called today for Patsy, yesterday for Keisha, and just asked, can you? And here they are. And I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate the encouragement and the support because, again, when you do something, sometimes it's easy to get stuck in a rut and it becomes monotonous and you do whatever you do. But when you're interacting with human beings who are being such beautiful lights, giving you insight, calling you to check on you just to see how you're doing, or, you know, all of that, it makes life such an enjoyable experience. And I'm forever grateful to you both. MJ, you know how you do the thing. Absolutely, we cannot overemphasize the fact that there is a connection. We're not just physical people. We can eat well, do this, use all your herbs and this and that, but if you are living your life in a way that's toxic emotionally, trust and believe the benefits will be always limited. You're never going to be able to break through a particular ceiling because it's not holistic. And so I just want to encourage everybody, if you're on and you're interested in participating in the detox, I do have spots left. Like I said, I'm trying my best to, I've tried to expand to accompany new persons this time around. So we do have spots left. They will be filling up really soon. It's not that much, but I just encourage all of us, again, nature, natural foods, natural behavior, leaving all the toxic nonsense that we've conditioned ourselves to believe, you know, eating ourselves that low vibration, low negativity, and we want TV that's feeding you the same thing. And everything, we go to work, we interact with our people, and we reflect the behaviors that we have conditioned ourselves. We reflect that in our relationships. And so the more you move away from what's foreign to us, and I just want to remind us, especially as Black people, that type of behavior, that type of living, that type of eating, all them pop in the packages these days that we do, everything is in a bag, everything has been sitting on the shelves for months. That's not who we are by nature. And the sooner we can recognize that, the sooner that we're willing to go back to our original selves, is the sooner we're going to see maximum benefits. So I just encourage everybody, of course, again, like Patsy mentioned, I do what I do. I love what I do. I'm competent in what I do. I'm not the only person doing it. And again, the approach is going back to nature. Whether you choose to jump on board with me and have the coaching sessions with me as we do that, or if you choose to, you can do it on your own. You know what I mean? If you need assistance in terms of what to eat, how to prepare a balanced meal on a plate, I am a phone call away. 268-720-6144. give me a call and I'll be happy to assist with that. The herbs, in some ways, still untouched. We have to rely on our herbs. The food has been seriously tainted, and the soil and all of that. Though we give thanks for what is there now, we give thanks for everything that we have around us, but the herbs are powerful. The herbs are, yeah. So, as a herbalist, of course, I'm gonna recommend that we get on our herbals, of course, because the way they function in the body is something that scientists, doctors, all the specialists, they can't seem to pinpoint it because they were created for us. Okay, and so it's not something that has to be manipulated. Once you put it in your body, it knows what to do and it will do what it does. Okay, so I just want to say thank you. Therese, thank you so much for opening up the forum for me tonight. The conversation continues, and it so happens that we have our podcast, well, not a podcast, but we have our lives at the same time every Sunday. So my live will continue next. Isn't that something?
Right.
Because we can always collaborate over and over again. But the talk continues next week. I'm going to continue on the constipation part of it because it's something that I don't think we can talk about it too much, because until we recognize that we are constipated, not that, oh, I only go whatever. No, it's not your body in a particular rhythm. You are constipated. If you're not moving your bowels, it indicates quite a few things. It indicates that you're not eating natural foods, because natural foods go in your body and it wants to leave. By design, that's what it does. If you're eating well, it's gonna go in and it's gonna say, okay, I've already given her all the minerals, vitamins, and enzymes. And you're not going to have a problem. And it's a problem that we have normalized for a long time. So we think, okay, well, every 2 days or every whatever. And we begin to think that it's normal. There's nothing normal about it. There's nothing normal about carrying around 10 pounds of waste in your body. And that's average. No exaggeration. That's the amount of waste. And then think about it also. I'm going to push a little further into the talk that shit, MJ. So it's sitting inside of you, but what's taking place with it inside of you? You're feeding parasites. You're legitimately you're spending your money, you're going to buy your barbecue jerk, your chicken and stuff, and you're eating it only to feed parasites. That's essentially what we're doing. Once you have, and this isn't an indictment on people who eat meat, because I'm one of the plant-based persons who know that we too have parasites. And, we have to do deep cleaning to recognize it, but the cleanse is definitely a way in which we can eliminate these parasites. And how will you know if you did or you didn't eliminate it? You have to look back in the toilet, something that we have become kind of, I don't know where y'all get off just going to the bathroom, wiping and flushing without looking. You have to look. Your stool is telling you this is what's going on. It's like holding up a mirror to you and you're just not looking. So I encourage you, look in your toilet. If it's not reflecting the foods that you you've recently had, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, and it's a trouble that we can gradually correct, but adjustments need to be made. Discipline has to come into play, and nature, natural foods. With that being said, Therese, I'll pass it over to you. Thank you so much once again for the opportunity to join on your platform.
It's really appreciated, and peace and love.
And with that being said, I'm not even going to try to say anything more. I'm not going to try to put any more frills on it. I think that that was a perfect way to end. I think that you and I, we're going to have to talk, because
Definitely.
we are both doing lives on a Sunday at the exact same time. That cannot happen, Saran.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to work it out. We're going to have to work it out, because the conversations that I'm not even worried so much about my followers. I'm just worried about me, because I need to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
I'm worried about myself. But yes, we're absolutely gonna talk about that, because I am prepared to move the timing of my life so that I can catch that conversation. I think that's a super, super important conversation. And by the way, MJ, there were some fire emojis going up in the chat section. I just thought I would mention that.
Talking that shit.
I didn't put any fire emojis into the chat section. I have nothing to say. I'm just gonna sit here and sip my glass of water. Y'all not putting my business out there like that on the World Wide Web. Anyway, Queens, this was fantastic. This was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
I am inspired, and I'm not gonna say anything more. Thank you. Gratitude, as MJ would put it. Gratitude. That's all. That's how I'm going to end it today. Thank you to everyone who has been in the chat section with us throughout the program. If you haven't done so already, go and follow the Wellness Queens on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube and on wherever else.
TikTok.
Follow the Wellness Queens everywhere so that you can get unconstipated, people. All right, and so blessed love to you, Queens. Thank you for being here.
Blessings to you too, Therese. Blessings, gratitude.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
Love and light to every part of your Sunday to be here. We appreciate you. And of course, as always, I leave you with love and light. And you know how we end every broadcast here. Be a beautiful week. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Peace and blessings. Bye.